Nala? Is it really you?
Who are you?
It's me, Simba.
Simba?
Ah!
How did you...
But how did you... Oh, wow!
Where did you come from?
This is cool. It's great to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you.
What's going on here?
What are you doing here?
What do you...
What if I told you that one of Disney's most beloved heroines wasn't just trying to save her kingdom when she left Pride Rock? She was running for her life. The real reason behind Nala's escape is so disturbing that Disney actually cut it from the final film. And once you know the truth, you'll never watch The Lion King the same way again. Hey, Pride family. Before we dive into this dark chapter of Disney history, take a second to hit that subscribe button and join our Pride. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we uncover in these videos. Now, let's get into one of Disney's most closely guarded secrets. We all know the story, right? Or at least we think we do. Nala leaves the Pride Lands, stumbles across Simba living his best Hakuna Matata life, and convinces him to come back and save everyone from Scar's tyranny. Simple enough. But here's the thing. There's always been this massive question that nobody seems to ask. Why did Nala wait so long to leave? Think about it. The Pride Lands were literally dying. The herds were disappearing. The rivers were drying up. Everything was turning to ash and bone under Scar's rule. So why didn't she leave sooner? What made her stay in this literal wasteland for so long, only to suddenly decide, okay, now's the time to peace out? Well, my fellow Disney detectives, that's exactly what we're going to uncover today. And let me warn you, this story gets dark. Really dark. Disney had to cut it from the movie Dark. But first, we need to understand exactly what Nala was dealing with at Pride Rock. Because this wasn't just about leaving home. This was about abandoning her entire heritage, her family's legacy, and everything she'd ever known. Let's rewind to the Pride Lands before everything went wrong. You know those gorgeous opening scenes in The Lion King? That wasn't just some random savanna that Mufasa's family happened to claim. The Pride Lands were their ancestral home, passed down through generations of royal lions. We're talking about a dynasty that stretched back to the legendary Askari, the founder of the Lion Guard. And this wasn't just any piece of real estate. Under Mufasa's rule, the Pride Lands were literally paradise on Earth. You had this perfect ecosystem where predator and prey existed in this beautiful balance. The lions weren't just mindless hunters. They were guardians of this delicate harmony. They made sure not to overhunt, which meant the herds could thrive, which meant the grass stayed trimmed, which meant new grass could grow. You get the picture. The circle of life wasn't just some catchy song. It was their whole way of life. Then everything changed when Scar took the throne. But here's where things get interesting, and where Disney starts leaving some crucial details out of the story. See, when Scar first took over, he actually had a legitimate claim to the throne. As far as everyone knew, both Mufasa and Simba were dead. Scar was next in line. On paper, everything was legal and proper. The lionesses, including Nala, had no real reason to question his authority, at least not at first. But Scar had a problem. He knew that being the legitimate heir wasn't enough. He needed insurance, something to make sure nobody would challenge his rule. Enter the hyenas. Now, let's talk about these hyenas for a second. In the movie, they're mostly played for laughs. Ed's got his crazy eyes, Banzai's always complaining, Shenzi's throwing out one-liners. But under Scar's rule, these weren't just comic relief characters. They were his private army, his secret police, his way of keeping the lionesses in line through fear and intimidation. And it worked. Think about it. We never see any of the lionesses openly rebelling against Scar until the very end of the movie. Even Sarabai, the former queen, keeps her head down most of the time. That's not because they were okay with what was happening. It's because they were being watched, controlled, oppressed. But the hyenas were just the beginning. As the Pride lands started to die, something else was happening, something much more sinister. Scar was losing his grip on reality. And this is where we get to the part of the story that Disney decided was too dark for their family movie. There was originally a scene, and later a whole musical number in the Broadway show, called The Madness of King Scar. And let me tell you, this scene makes Frollo's Hellfire look like a lullaby. In this deleted scene, we see Scar becoming increasingly paranoid. He's pacing in his den, talking to himself, seeing visions of Mufasa's ghost. He's obsessing over whether the lionesses respect him, whether they fear him enough, whether his legacy will survive. And that's when Zazu makes a fatal mistake. He mentions that Scar doesn't have an heir. And just like that, something snaps in Scar's mind. He becomes fixated on the idea that he needs two things, a queen and cubs, to carry on his bloodline. Now, remember, this is coming from the same lion who just orchestrated the murder of his own brother and nephew. His idea of carrying on the bloodline isn't exactly coming from a healthy place. That's when Nala walks into his den. What happens next is so disturbing that it's no wonder Disney cut it. Scar, seeing this young lioness who represents everything he can't have, respect, loyalty, a connection to the Pride, decides that she's going to be his queen. Not asks, decides. When Nala refuses, because of course she refuses, Scar doesn't take it well. He backs her into a corner, tells her she has no choice. His exact words, "I always get what I want." Then he gives her an ultimatum. Become his queen, or be banished from the Pride lands forever. Let that sink in for a moment. This isn't just about a power-hungry king anymore. This is about something much darker, something that Disney, understandably, didn't want to address in their animated feature. But it gets worse. When the other lionesses try to intervene and protect Nala, Scar sees it as treason. He calls in his hyena army to put down what he calls an uprising. This is the moment when the Pride realizes that Scar doesn't just want their obedience, he wants complete control over their lives. Now we finally understand why Nala left when she did. This wasn't just about finding help for the Pride. This was about escaping a situation that was becoming more dangerous by the day. She wasn't just looking for food or resources. She was running from a tyrant who had specifically targeted her. But even knowing all this, leaving wasn't an easy decision. Remember, the Pride lands weren't just her home. They were her responsibility. As one of the younger, stronger lionesses, she had a duty to help hunt and provide for the Pride. Leaving meant potentially weakening the group she was trying to protect. This is where the Broadway musical actually gives us another missing piece of the puzzle. In a song called Shadowland, we see something the movie never showed us: the Pride's goodbye to Nala. It's a powerful moment where these lionesses who have already lost so much make the heart-wrenching decision to send one of their own into the unknown. They knew the risks. They knew she might never find help. They knew she might never come back. But they also knew that staying meant watching their home continue to die, and possibly watching Nala suffer an even worse fate at Scar's paws. But here's where it gets really interesting. When you look at the timing of everything, you start to see that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't just about escape. Maybe Nala was smarter than we give her credit for. Think about it. By the time she left, the Pride lands were already devastated. The herds were gone. The water was drying up. Even if Scar had gotten what he wanted and made her his queen, there wouldn't have been anything left to rule over soon. The kingdom was quite literally dying. This means that when Nala left, she wasn't just running away, she was running towards something. She knew that somewhere out there, beyond the borders of their dying land, there had to be hope, there had to be help, there had to be a way to save her family. And isn't it interesting that of all the places she could have gone, she happened to end up exactly where Simba was? Now the movie plays this off as a coincidence. She was hunting Pumbaa. Simba intervenes. Big surprise reunion scene. But what if it wasn't a coincidence? What if Nala, who grew up with Simba, who knew him better than almost anyone, had some kind of intuition about where he might have gone? What if she was following not just her nose as a hunter, but her heart as a friend? When you look at it this way, Nala's journey becomes even more extraordinary. She wasn't just some lioness who got lucky and found the rightful king. She was a survivor who escaped from an increasingly dangerous situation, a strategist who waited for the right moment to leave, and a hero who trusted her instincts to find the one person who could help save her pride. This also explains why she was so insistent on Simba returning with her. She knew exactly what she was going back to. She knew what Scar was capable of, and she knew that without Simba, there would be no stopping him from destroying everything and everyone she loved. When you watch The Lion King now, knowing all this, Nala's story hits different, doesn't it? That scene where she finds Simba isn't just a happy reunion. It's a moment of pure relief. She's not just happy to see her old friend, she's finally found her pride's salvation. And when she begs him to return home, she's not just asking him to take his place as king, she's asking him to save them all from a fate worse than death. But here's what I want to know from you. Do you think Nala made the right choice in waiting as long as she did? Would finding Simba sooner have changed anything? Or did everything need to get as bad as it did for Simba to finally understand what was at stake? And here's an even bigger question. What do you think would have happened if Nala hadn't found Simba? What was her backup plan? Or did she know, somehow, that she would find him? Drop your theories in the comments below. I read every single one, and I love hearing your takes on these hidden Disney stories. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any more of these deep dives into Disney's darker side, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Trust me, we're just getting started with these hidden stories. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out our breakdown of the disturbing reason Vitani. You won't believe what we uncovered in that one.